Oh yeah, sexy biscuits. Nice.
Long boys blues, 1975. YouTubers on the rise, reviewing games late at night and sometimes friends. But Long boys blues, 1975.
Welcome to the ZX Spectrum versus Commodore 64 comparison video. As I like to call it, Playground Wars. I think it's safe to say you knew this was coming at some point. This is a hacked ROM, so it will load all the levels in at one go, because back in the day there was only a 48K version of this game and you had to load each level in separately, so I can't skip any of this, but it lets me talk for a little bit. Obviously L.ook released in the arcades in 1987, an absolutely mind-blowing shoot 'em up that set this kind of organic tone and this rock hard style of gameplay and weapon systems you hadn't seen. Huge bosses, both organic and both sort of, you know, machine based and stuff like that. It's a fantastic shoot 'em up. I have many gameplays of it. I love the Spectrum. It's my favorite Spectrum game of all time. I love the Master System. It's one of my favorite Master System games of all time, and it's one of my favorite PC Engine games of all time. I have gameplays of all those versions. I've played this many times on this channel, so you've probably seen it in one form. In fact, I have a complete gameplay, albeit cheating, of the Spectrum version from a year or so ago. But I had to have this game in the Spectrum versus Commodore 64 Playground War series. Now, obviously, take this series with a pinch of salt. It's for fun, and I do try and be kind of subjective and honest when I do it. But, you know, at the same time, because of the nature of being called Playground Wars, you do inherit a part of that small child sort of logic in you that you take to, you know, adulthood, which these are the machines were such a big part of their life. I'm saying this because many people accuse me of being biased when it comes to this game, but we'll get to one of the reasons on why I think there may be an issue with the Commodore 64 when we get to the Commodore 64 version. Now, that's saying I can at least progress far enough for both these videos to be comparable to each other in what you're gonna see. But first played this, I think it was a one level demo on the front of Sinclair User that absolutely blew us all away. This game should not exist on the Spectrum in this form. All the levels of the arcade are in here, albeit you have to load them separately. I suggest you get this hacked tap file so you don't. But yeah, to know that you probably thought they'll be able to do it on the Amiga, the Atari ST, maybe the Commodore, maybe the Amstrad. The Amstrad version is not anywhere near as good as this, although there's a new one they did on Homebrew a few years ago. But yeah, this should not be possible to how they've done it, and obviously Electronic Arts, they blew us all away. Anyway, right, level 1 loaded, locked and cocked, enter. Right, so this will be where the actual game starts properly. Right, enter to find keys, right, left, right. Now remember that attribute clash is always a problem on the Spectrum. They come up with some sort of interesting ways, ingenious ways around it. Wait till you see this. Fire. Right, so it's 48K sound effects, but nice scrolling star field. Your ship movement and their ship movement's a little bit jagged, I know that, but look at the background. Look how smooth it is. Look at the explosions, but most of all, got your charge beam. Look at the colour. I mean, have you ever seen anything this good with no attribute clash? It will become far more apparent if we can get inside the Bido ship. Bido. So I always found that name a bit funny, unintimidating for the absolute bastards that they are. Right. There we go. He's gonna fight. No, I don't want you on the back. Oh, no. Oh, this is awkward. Yoink! Get on the front. There we go. You will need him. He basically will save your life. If you don't get him, well, go home. But yeah, look at this, right? So look at the star parallax behind the engines of the ship. I'm out of breath because this is tense. Yeah, look at the size of the enemy sprites. How many enemy sprites are on the screen at once? They look like the arcade. Your orb looks like the arcade. Your ship looks like the arcade. I mean, colours like this should not be possible. Oh, fuck nuggets on the Spectrum. I'm in trouble. Nope, it's put me all the way back to the beginning. Nope, I'm in trouble. Right, yeah, look at it, smooth, colourful, no attribute class whatsoever. There probably will be slowdown later on because some of the levels are insane, but they're all in here. This was unbelievable when we saw it. I mean, all the magazines, all of them back in the day gave this rave reviews. They were just like, how is this? Fuck, that was entirely on me. Even possible, even a thing. I practiced a lot as a kid, simply being good at this, simply because all I had was the first level. And so, until we got the official game, or the full game, so I could do it. As an adult, rusty much? See, look, the flight pattern to the aliens, like you just get one there and everything. It's so accurate. Charge beam? Listen to that. Lack of music doesn't ruin it. Oh, you can shoot their bullets. Don't remember that being a thing. I'm very glad it's a thing. Any more coming out? Of course they're coming out. If you go down to the woods today and all that shit. Right. Oh, this means I'm not going to hopefully get to show... Well, hopefully I can, but I'm not going to realistically get to show you all the lovely power-up weapons, because I will need rockets at some point. Oh, here we go. That's speed. This is not going well. Get on the front. Oh shit, no. Right, the trick here is, that's so impressive. And look at it, because there's something that happened in the Commodore version where this just... Ooh, shows you how impressive that was. Basically, they don't even try on the Commodore version. Right. Oh, the keyboard's slipping off my lap. I feel like a synth rocker right now. More power-ups would be nice, please. Again, look at the colours. I don't notice any slowdown as yet on this stage. I really could have used the rockets here. Maybe another little bloke here come. Give me the bounce lasers. This is going to be... Yeah. No, but... Woohoo! Yeah, that's my Mickey Mouse impression, and because that got me out of Dodge then, big time. Woo! This is amazing. Even as an adult now, with stuff I played on, like my Xbox 360, my Xbox One, you know, PCs and stuff like that, I cannot get over how good this looks. Got the rockets, dead handy. Dead handy. Look at the big arms, which I always wondered what they did. They always look so impressive in magazines when you saw the arcade machine. Like, were they going to move? Were they going to shut the door or stuff like that? Or do they just stand there? They just stand there. Not going to lie. They just stand there in the arcade. Bounce laser. Yeah, like I said, I'm talking an massive amount of bollocks, but colours like this should not exist on the ZX Spectrum. Now, there's a trick you can do in the arcades and on the Master System. I can't remember if you can do it on the Commodore, where you could take... Look at that! Look at the size of that! You just do that. And apparently it's not working. Get on the front. Oh, I've got to wait for the... I'm going to fuck this up. Right, go on. Balls! You blast it into his gut. I think, have I got infinite lives? Yeah, you blast it into his gut. And it just kills him out. Fuck. No, mission over. That was shocking. Hey, you saw the end, boss. At least you saw the end, boss. Let's have one more go. Problem with these comparison videos is I don't know if I'm good enough, because I play them, literally record them in real time, to know how far I'll get. Oh, that works. In both versions, for them to be a fair... I can't play like this because it's slipping off my lap. I've got sweaty hands now. To be a fair comparison. This is when you know a game, you know, has never really left your child in such that it causes all the same effects to you as a kid. That was so lucky then, Jesus. See what I mean? This is just as tense and insane as the arcade. I think I'm just going to try and shoot him outright. I don't think I've ever played the Spectrum version on keyboard. Oh, I got my rockets. Let your rockets do some shit. Like I said, the keyboard's slipping off my lap. Oh, I'm in all kinds of a clusterfuck. I'm in R-Type land, basically. There we go. Right. Get some of this in your life. Look at the way the colours on the bouncy lasers change as well. Yeah, that was a fuck up. I need to get out. I don't even know if I'm hitting him. Yeah, I don't know if I'm hitting him. Oh well. We live, we learn. Right, one more go at getting this in his gut. Come on, he's going to start coming forward now. Now. Come on. Come on. Look at that, holy shitballs. That is so impressive. I'm so dead now. I think this level's hard. You ain't seen a Scooby yet. Yeah. Breathe in that awesome 48k beeper noise. Right, got to load level 2. Like I said, it wouldn't work like this. There we go. Back in the day. We're doing it instant. Look at this. You got your star field. You shouldn't have a star field. I mean, it's parallax, but look at the size of the tanks. Again, this level, all like the scorpions coming out the floor and stuff, there's no way the Spectrum should be able to do this, and you will have the heart at the end of the level, but I sincerely doubt I can get there. But if you want to see what it looks like, well, that's what YouTube was for. Although I do have a full gameplay of it where I cheated, but yeah, I mean, alright, so there's no background, but they've replaced it with a scrolling star field. But let's be honest, something had to go, didn't it? Because it's a 48k machine. There was no 1 to 8k version of this. It was a 48 loader, multi-level loader. That in itself is mind-blowingly amazeballs. I mean, again, with this series of videos, particularly if you played the Spectrum version back in the day, I'd love to know what you think. And now, obviously, I'm going to say, oh, fuck, I haven't played the Commodore version in years, so at this point, I generally don't know how it compares, but I do remember it feeling... Well, we'll save that to the Commodore version. Hopefully I can get to the same point in that game as I did to this one. But anyway, I'm gonna jump to the Commodore 64 version, because basically without any of the power-ups you take to this level, you're absolutely pooch screwed. Anyway, let's take a look at the Commodore 64 version. So here we go, R-Type on the Commodore 64, also released by Electric Dreams, but in this case it was developed by Rainbow Arch. It's got a nice title screen, it's got nice music. Now, correct me by all means if I'm wrong, but I've got a vague nagging feeling that this is a reskinned version of another game, possibly another game that Rainbow Arch already had made, or something very similar to that story. That's pretty sure I read that somewhere, but I could be wrong. But anyway, let's get into this. I'm playing this on an actual control pad, so basically same controls exist: hammer fire, charge down fire, and then expel and, you know, reattach your orb. Right, fire, fire, there we go, fire. Third button, it's usually a charm. Right, now what you will notice, it's got lovely SID chip music. Does sound like the arcade. Obviously the Spectrum didn't have the arcade. The screen is quite narrow, or slim I should say, widescreen. It's very, very full. It's very, very colourful. My charge screen is at the bottom, my score is bottom left. Hold down charge, fire. Yeah, it's nice, it's colourful, stuff like that. I do like its graphics. I'm not going to lie, the Spectrum graphics, I just like the fact that they're bigger and chunkier. This is going to be awkward. I have one quick practice and I've come very quickly to the conclusion that talking and playing at this at the same time is bloody difficult. I say that a lot, but it really is. I mean, so it's true to form in that, you know, case as a conversion of R-Type. Wow, that was a spankaroonie. But yeah, it'll become apparent if I can make it to the end that you'll see it seems quite rushed. speed it up in places. That goes for how quickly the level passes, how quickly things like your missiles go and stuff like that. I don't like the way the star field comes in and out in the background. I know it's supposed to, but it's a bit pants. Yeah, like your explosions don't last long enough and stuff to kind of let you take it in, because it should be a graphical showcase. That's the whole point of R-Type. Oh fuck, if I can make it, I'm sucking at this. Is he going to put me all the way back? Is he going to give me the orb? But yeah, there's little things that just aren't accurate to the arcade that the Spectrum nailed better. Like I said, that involves me being able to talk and play at the same time to be able to show you that. Can I shoot their lasers? Surely that's incorrect. Oh, it looks like I can. Oh fuck, that was on me. I am terrible at this. Like I said, I cannot talk and play this. I mean, I couldn't talk and play the Spectrum on, to be fair. I might have to turn invulnerability on. Oh, the shame, the shame. But, fuck nuggets. Well, it's accurate in that case, isn't it, to being R-Type? It's a shame, because if you can't... It's silly, because if you can just make it literally into the ship, past the first bit where all the weird-looking alien-like drones come at you, then it becomes easy. I mean, and it's supposed to be harder the further you progress, surely. Plus, also, there doesn't seem to be any speed-ups, but yeah. Ooh. Well, that's a balls up, because I don't want them above me. Right, get on the front. He doesn't want to get on the front. Right, now look, get on the front. I'm just going to ignore him, and he's just going to piss off. He should be like the first stage, or the start of the stage that's really challenging and like kicks your ass and stuff like that. Anyway, this looks nice. This looks nice. It's very cramped, very small. I prefer the bigger style of the Spectrum graphics. I need to... Whew, that's lucky. Backgrounds are alright. Yeah, it's cramped. I mean, I thought the Spectrum was kind of cramped because of the size of the sprites, but this is... Yoink! Yeah, but look at this. So the snake doesn't move, and you can completely... The way you circumvent it is you completely and utterly destroy it, which kind of defeats the challenge of it. There you go, yeah. So it's like, I don't know, that's why I think it's a reskinned version of another game. But, oh, my favourite gun in the game. This does look nice, I will give it that. I'm finding it hard to see, I mean, like the colour background's cool and stuff like that. The ring laser is pathetic on this compared to the Spectrum, but you can't really see the bullets or even the turrets with this much colour in the background. That would be where the Spectrum's better. Look at my missiles. I mean, I like the fact that they're that effective, but that's too effective. I won't get... And is it just me, or does this level seem really, 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 really short? It's by no means terrible. It's really not by no means terrible. If you didn't know possibly it was reskinned, and again I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I say that, you would say this is a reasonably good, you know, interpretation of R-Type. By the way, shooting your orb, see, he's tiny. He looks alright, but he's tiny. Shooting your orb into his stomach doesn't do anything. So what you do is, you just stay here and shoot him. His tail still blocks you. There you go. Maybe I should have got the bounce laser. Ooh! I'm invulnerable. But I blew up earlier on. I'm gonna go out, and he's come back in. So apparently, if you don't shoot him, that's what happens. Normally you shoot. Wow. I've never not shot him the first time before for him to loop like that. That's shocking. I mean, that gives the ability to go through what your boss, he can't kill you. Only his projectiles can kill you. That's terrible. Wow. Broken. Right, anyway, this looks nice. This looks really, really nice. It's got parallax. Yeah, this definitely looks nice in the Spectrum. It's a little cramped. I do like the parallax. But I can't put my finger on it. Something feels ever so slightly a little bit off. But, you know, I doubt I'll get to the heart, because, yeah. Way! I mean, this is far more impressive than the first level, so, I mean, if it is a reskin game, maybe more effort went into this, but, yeah. It just doesn't feel... Oh, See, it glitched. I wasn't using the invulnerability cheat. Yeah, I'm going to sum up. The Spectrum version is way more of a technical achievement. That's given on the system that it's running on. But this feels rushed. I don't know, deadline to get it out in time, because was it a Christmas release? I'm pretty sure it was. It looks it, but once again, as I say a lot in this series, it feels like a tribute band as opposed to the proper thing. And when you say, well look, how's it going to convert R-Type? Like I said, the Spectrum version did. Now obviously people are probably just going to say you're biased, as I mentioned at the start of this video, and maybe I am. But I think the Spectrum, not just because it's more impressive, plays better and feels a lot more R-typey, because that's a phrase apparently, R-typey. Can't believe I'm still alive. Anyway, as always, I'd love to know what you think. Did you play this? Did you play the Spectrum? Which did you prefer? And as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later.